Is my scene okay? We're gonna do countdown.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to
I didn't check my scene, so once I get on, you're gonna have to deal with it. But I'm getting all set up. Log in.
My hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound.
Good morning. I'm gonna be back in a little bit. I'm just working on some stuff. And I gotta go get my water.
Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us
Good morning.
help
Hit the
you grow.
thumbs up.
Taking risks, making
And go
moves,
comment on the last damn YouTube video with an emoji. I think Nathaniel was the only one. He gets my listener of the day.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll
Go
conquer,
balls
no
deep, he
room for
said.
any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound
Laura, I saw your comment. Yes, it is scary on Twitter. Just so everyone's aware, I posted a Jim Cramer Gary photo on Twitter. And seen, oh, mother effer. Come on, put the camera on this face. It's better looking than, oh, and now, okay. Hold on. I didn't fix this. So I've got to properties, and then we're going to go to Control Center, and then to Google Chrome. There we go. Now it should switch. There we go. And we've got everything. I don't know why anybody listens to me. I don't get it. I don't get it. But thank you. I appreciate everybody. Hit the thumbs up button. I'm going into YouTube now on my iPad to check. And just so everyone's aware, my mother listened to the podcast and started yelling at me that I shouldn't be calling people douchebags. I shouldn't be using that language. She got angry at me. I'm 54 years old, and yes, I still get yelled at by my mother. But condolences to Tiger Woods. His mom passed away yesterday, so I guess I'm lucky in that I still get yelled at by my mother. Okay. I appreciate you guys, though, even though I call you douches sometimes, and I yell. I think my friends might say, "Ooh, it's just passion. He's passionate." Cleveland Cliffs, Amazon, Uber is down 5%. Uber was up like 4% yesterday, and it gives back 5%. Let's go to this top stocks watched. AMD and Day. What is Day? It's down 5%. Dayforce. That's an interesting chart. We're down 5% at 68. What that candle go to? Let's see. The low is 67. Pull back to the last earnings. Let's see. You got a pretty good support level down here. I mean, I'd have to research it, but that's an interesting one. Because it's just kind of hanging around the 200-day. You can, if you get good at looking at charts, you can kind of see on the 4-hour where you might be on a weekly. But that top is 120. I mean, that top is doubling from where it is now. And it's not super, super stretched. My guess is, yeah, it's earnings related that's down. But that one's interesting. Maybe I'll add this. You know what? Let's see what day. Beats revenue. It's a hold, and nobody's really looked at it. It's an 11 billion. Let's see the history of this one. It was a buy here for a short time. It's been a hold, and it was a sell in the 50s. So it's never been a strong buy, and my guess is that's because of the valuation. They're making money. Their PE's a little bit high, but their growth is good. We don't have an AI report yet. I'm going to add this to the watch list. I'm going to put it in the watch list there. This is how you get, I mean, this is what the value of Trendspider does is you can, I literally just scan this stock twits and the top stock twits, and I got that one. So it's new stocks. I mean, that's kind of interesting. SMCI and ironically, INTA. INTA gets, and I mean, let's just look at it real quick. No, I'll look at it later. I'll continue these scans. Nothing in Bitcoin. Let's go to, we did the core investments. Let's go to the covered call. I need to rename that. Income ETFs. QQQI, NUC, QDTE, DJIA, covered call, energy names. Let's see. I need to, God. Energy got a bump yesterday, I think. I was focused on VST actually got a cross up and it's up again today. Wow. Boyle, which was down, is down 2%. Marathon Petroleum, Lithium. I think this is, what's this? Lithium Americas Corp. Leveraged ETFs. Let's see. Oh, ho, ho, ho. We got some. Comb, Bulls, SMCX, MSTU. We got MSTU. By the way, stock battle. It's coming up on 2 weeks tomorrow, and we're just trying to work out the time. It seems like it's going to be a late night live on Substack for the stock battle. If you don't know what the stock battle is, let's go over to the newsletter. And we'll just go recent posts. We'll see all. And down here, it was a while ago, but I think it was 2 weeks ago. Where's the stock battle? There it is. Where is the stock battle? Netflix earnings. Wah, 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 wah. Have a chat with James Ford. There it is, stock battle, live with Nader. So this one, we recorded it January 23rd, so we're coming up on 2 weeks. The goal was just to say, okay, we're going to use some strategies. James picked Tesla, which is not up. I picked MSTR in a strategy, and Nader checked MSTR just in a regular one. So we're going to do that. Hey, okay, here's the results. And then we'll kind of jump on and talk it through and say, okay, what would you have done differently? And then maybe to pick out some other stuff. But it's it was a fun. I'll do more of those because I actually liked it. I enjoyed that one. And I think what I'm going to do is start bringing on listeners with the stock battle because Eli said he wants to do it. So, low cost ETFs, QTUM. I think this is Quantum. Yeah. This is the quantum computing ETF. I don't know that it's low cost, but it's an ETF, so I put it in there. Probably should put it in the watch list, but I don't know. Let me look. Just why does this always take so long to scan? There's nothing in there that's crazy bad. Costco is up over $1,000 again. If you didn't know, I mean, Disney's on its way to 120. There's a lot in the core portfolio with stocks that are doing really, really well. And we've got a ton. PARR, ARM, Uber, AMD, MPC Day, VST, SMTC, SMCI, AIQ, TAC. And that's it. Okay. The watch list, and then we go over to index, and we're going to do the Dow. All of this can be automated in Trendspider, as Eli with his one-on-one found out. KLAC, interesting, one of the semi manufacturing companies, and then the S&P 100, XOM, AMD, Amazon. Okay. We'll go back to the strategy tester and we will go over to the 4 hour and boom, you can see 83.83. What was the one I was going to look at? Day. Four hour doesn't work on it real well. I'd find a different strategy. Just hasn't worked well on that chart, but it might. I mean, it very well might. Forget which one I was going to look at. Oh, MSTR. Let's see. Let's see my stock battle. Okay. So here's the algorithm got you out 120 with a 1% loss. Let's look at the stock battle 1 hour. So we go back to January 28th. Okay. I think I'm positive because January 28th, it wasn't in. It got you in here at 337. So I've got like a 1% gain. And I'm currently in at 312 and it's at 348. So I think I won the stock battle. I think I did. Because January 28th, we were at, let's see. We were at about, I forget. I have it in my notes for the stock battle. Let's see. Where's my stock battle? There we go. James has played Tesla, buy and hold, 411. Tesla is at 387. He didn't win. Nader, MSTX, buy and hold. Oh, he did MSTX, buy and hold, at 57. So let's do MSTX at 57. He lost. I win. I mean, unless something crazy happens, I win. And it's based on the Trendspider strategy that I built. So that's the key point. I love Trendspider. I mean, I love doing shit like that. Just finding a strategy that works and... Okay, I put it down a little bit. My back is gonna hurt. Oh, okay. Google under 200. Exactly, Scott. Under 200 on Google. I think that was an overreaction in my estimation. Let me just put in a note. Gary wins. Okay. So we're going to talk about Simon Property Group had earnings. Or I'm sorry, Disney. That one's no. We're gonna do Simon Property Group. I guess I missed this one. This is gonna be the last one I go through. Is Simon Property Group? They killed it, and a $2.10 dividend, fantastic, and it's climbing. And many people don't realize how good the core portfolio is actually doing. Disney beats, and the core portfolio again. It's not a managed portfolio. It's just a portfolio where you buy 100 shares of a stock when it goes in and you sell when it goes out. It's not managed. It's not looked at. It is just based on feeling. And hey, these companies, here's where why it comes out. It is 100% just a, hey, we're going to keep this one in here. Everybody knows my Sedge story where I lost a ton, but is Solar back? Enphase reported pretty good earnings. AMD is what we thought it was. It is. It's down 10%. It is what we thought it was. Novo Nordisk. I couldn't. Let me see if I can find a Novo article. I just wanted to bring up Novo Nordisk, and the reason I wanted to bring it up is because they did well, harming the environment. Novo emissions rise on Wegovy demand. Yeah, this is probably a better one. Yeah, because Eli Lilly is up in tandem with this one, and we'll just put this in. And we'll just open it up. We'll put that in there. We'll go home. Okay, so Novo Nordisk we're going to talk about. Gene Munster on Google. It's an overreaction. I mean, we're going to open that one. Alphabet. Here's the earnings from, I guess it's AI. This does it with they started posting these. It's great. It basically analyzes the earnings call and then just summarizes it. I'll point out that I don't think it's shocking where Google traded down to, and it's pretty good. I mean, again, it's good. Intapp projects, I mean, this is a summary of the phone call. It is down 10%. It was down as much as 25%. We're going to go over that one. I put mid 5 figures into this one yesterday. I actually moved the stock price, which was shocking. Just before we get into earnings, just so you know, over 75% of the companies beat earnings per share this week. It's a good earnings season. I am slowly changing my theory on Palantir. And again, these two articles, these two analysts kind of make me think, I'm going to talk about stock splits because I think there's two stocks that I think will split. Tesla is not a car company. Shai says it really well. It's not a car company, and Kathy Woods kind of reiterated that. If you order through Temu, like MK, my girlfriend, you may get screwed. We may not get $2 t-shirts anymore. China aims right at Google. I mean, make no mistake, we are in a tariff war. And Apple, Google, everybody, they're all caught in it. They're all caught in it. Biggest stock movers on Wednesday. Oh, well, I didn't mean to post this one. Hold on. I got to go look at the Apple story. Because the Apple story I wanted to post is not in there. Apple. It's this story. That's what I wanted to put in. And we're going to biggest movers. Wait, biggest movers. Biggest movers. We'll close this. And we'll just change this to that. There we go. Biggest movers. If you don't follow Shai, just follow him. I mean, the man is so good at these pitches and understanding businesses. I don't need to do a lot of research. It's free. There's no reason why you wouldn't follow him. Trendspider released a new scanner, pre-breakout consolidation. I will tell you exactly what that scanner does. There are a great list of stocks here. 2 of them are top stocks. We will go over. This is the scary photo. That's my Jim Cramer impression with today, because we'll revisit the crying. Where does the crying happen? It happened. David Faber. It happened. I need to get to the point where he cries. That's where he's crying. Yeah. It's so good. I mean, it's so good. Yeah, XLE, let me see. Let me look at the sectors. Market data, and then key market data. And this is, U.S. equity sectors. Energy was up 2% yesterday. Technology was up 1.4%. Consumer discretionary, bottoms, utilities. Buy on the days when it's weak. I mean, you take a look at 1 month, energy is up 2.94%. Technology is actually down 2%. Consumer discretionary is up 2%. Communications is up 5%. Financial services up 5%. Healthcare up 5%. Year to date, if we sort this, communication services 6%. Healthcare 6%. Basic materials 5%. Financial services 5%. Energy 5%. Technology is actually down year to date. So I am a large cap tech investor. This hurts a lot. but it is what it is. I'm not positioned correctly for the current market. But am I making changes? No. It is now February 5th. Year to date doesn't matter for me for my long-term projection until we get past a quarter, and then maybe I want to get into other ones that might be moving more. Like XLC, you can see what's the big movers in list. Let's go to the holdings. It's Meta. It's Google. This one's going to be down today. It's down 1.49%. Netflix, AT&T, T-Mobile, Walt Disney, Take-Two, Verizon, Charter. Again, you go to this market data, and it's good. It's good information. It really is. And if you want to see year to date, what momentum is still winning, MTUM. Look at the holdings there. Broadcom, JP Morgan, Walmart, Nvidia, Costco, Oracle, AbbVie, Philip Morris, Intuitive Surgical, which actually is an interesting one. I was on Spaces yesterday, and one of the guys said, hey, if you missed Palantir, he thinks this one is the next AI kind of winner in the healthcare space. I mean, he made his pitch. I'm not sure I loved his pitch, but, you're up near the 52-week high at 579. 616 is the 52-week high. Wall Street says it's worth 629. So, but, yeah. There are a lot of opportunities in here, not just tech. I think tech is a beaten down sector right now. It's been, excuse me. I'm sorry to sneeze into the mic. Okay, 23 thumbs up, 44 people in here. If you're just joining, hit the thumbs up button. I'm going to start recording now.
No sneeze.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. There's a voice from on the floor. It's a human voice, not a dog voice. But it's from the dog bed. Let's see. Okay. So that's what we're going to go over. Okay. I'm going to hit record. Good morning. It is Wednesday, February 5th. Good day? Bad day? It depends on what companies you invested in. We're going to go over earnings. We're going to go over a sale in Alpha Picks, which was interesting yesterday. They told you to sell something, which they don't always do. We're going to go over some of the top stocks. We're going to go over, there was an article I read about quick recoveries after quick sell-offs, how this market is different than other markets based on options and leveraged ETFs, things of that sort. And I thought it was interesting. Shai puts out his best elevator pitch for some of the software programs that he's got on his list. Apple is caught in a trade war. Google caught in a trade war. Nvidia caught in a trade war. Intel likely next. Temu caught in a trade war. If you like $2 t-shirts, we're seeing that. Tesla's not a car company. Kathy Wood said it. Stock splits. Two stocks that I think might split. One stock that reached an all-time high yesterday. Palantir, I may be changing my mind based on a couple of articles I read. Earnings. We're going to go over huge. 75% of the companies, just so you know, earnings per share beat. Okay? I played an earnings play yesterday. I'm down 10%. It was down up to 25%. I will pull the Jim Cramer clip out for you. Google earnings. And was it an overreaction? Novo Nordisk blew it away. Does that bode well for Lilly? AMD, it is what it is. Is solar back because Enphase shot up? Uber, it's not exactly, gained 4%, gave 4% back. Is that one on one? Disney beat. And some forget the core portfolio is just damn good. There's one stock that is paying a $2 dividend out, which is like a 4% forward dividend. Okay. Great stock. We'll go over, Dylan wants me to look at, I think it's, I forget which one it is. I thought I wrote it down, but it's, we'll look at that one. I think it's the one with, WWF and I think, I forget the symbol. Somebody look up which WWF and UFC and tell me the symbol in the chat. That's the one Dylan wants me to go over, but he didn't include the symbol in his question. in his no TED talk for him. So let's go over QQQ yesterday. Algorithm got you out yesterday at 9:30. We saw that in the morning with a 0.07% loss. You're down 0.6% today. Again, I use the 4-hour algorithm to find me entries. And I will still say, from a weekly perspective, we are stretched. Go back to listen to Monday's podcast. Okay, Monday's podcast, I said, hey, here's the levels. If we start to pull back, here's the levels that I think we get to. I still think if you start to see this weekly break down, I think that's where we go. Okay, it could be a big breakdown. Again, remember, Trump pointed out, we all know that Trump kind of speaks off the cuff, kind of like I do, but he said there might be pain. So just be prepared for it. Because he said he's going to take over Gaza. I mean, let's be honest. That sounded like a real estate pitch, not a sign from a president. It sounded like we're going to, send some developers in and just redo some land. But it is what it is. I do want to point out, this is Jim Cramer crying. I will put this in the newsletter. It is one of the best clips. This marked the absolute low of Meta. When he went on air and started crying, it marked the absolute low of Meta. You wish you would have bought here, okay? It sent the stock down. The stock today is over $700. Just so you know, don't you wish you would have bought when he cried? Because today, this is my look. I use Snapchat, and boy, those teeth, that is horrific. And it's because I bought a stock. We'll go into that, but this is my look for today. That is what it is. Let's talk about, I'm going to go over a stock that AlphaPix said sell. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is. Subscribe to AlphaPix if you want. But remember, they have several different rules based. So essentially, a sell in the AlphaPix portfolio, the stock returned 230%. Since it was bought. I wound up losing on it because I didn't buy it at the time it was entered. I bought later and I wound up losing small amount. Remember, it's like 1% of your portfolio. So when you buy in, it's less. This was a significant portion of the portfolio. I think it was like 6 or 7%. It's faced significant macroeconomic headwinds. Rising mortgage rates have negatively impacted home affordability. Gross margins decreased by 250 basis points despite Q4 revenue of $1.2 billion, which exceeded analysts. Earnings per share revisions continues to the stock's downward climb, a downward grading in the Quant. While not all stocks work out, the winners in AlphaPix portfolio have significantly outperformed the losers. 11 of the 38 AlphaPix have returned more than 100% since their addition to the portfolio. Why was this one a sell? Well, stocks are removed when a quant rating falls from strong buy to sell. Momentum and earnings per share revisions factor grades show signs that are historically associated with poor future performance. Those factors led to the stock's downgrade to a quant sell rating. Okay, the next webinar for AlphaPix will have the complete analysis by Steve Kress. I thought it was great. Talking about Jim Cramer, okay? Last night I was watching, and he does a really good job of looking at stuff. Just understand, the lightning round came on, and everybody's favorite AI stock right now, because Pelosi bought in, is TEM. And one person called in and said, hey, Jim, what do you think of TEM? I thought it was interesting because he said, I don't like it. He said it's got too much forward momentum. I'd like to see a pullback. But if you wanted to buy one, he brought up a couple of other ones. So I wanted to take a look at these two. Okay. He brought up Stryker, SYK. Stryker, we can look at it. It's kind of doing the same thing, but it's turned over a little bit. If you look at a weekly on this one, you've got a nice upward trend here that's sticking to this particular line. If you just drew that line right there, you're sticking to that trend line. Okay. As resistance. Do you want to get in right now? I'd say wait, but that trend line does look good. It's not a support trend line. That's a resistance trend line. Okay. And if we go over to Seeking Alpha and we type in SYK and we look at this one, again, this is Stryker to SYK. Why am I just not putting this, typing well today? It's a hold in the quant. Valuation and growth are the problem, okay? Kramer likes it. Where does Wall Street thinks it's going? They think it's going to 422, and that's a 7% upside. They like it. Now, the other one that he mentioned was Medtronics. The only thing I know about Medtronics is that they do respirators. And this one, unlike Stryker, has a bit of a problem. It's caught below the 200-day. The weekly doesn't look stretched. The RSI does look stretched because you've just gone from 80 to 90 in a short period of time. They have earnings coming up on February 17th. Okay? The 4-hour algorithm, it makes you 25% versus buy and hold makes you 11%. Look at that most recent buy at $80 and you're at 90. It's not getting you out right now, but it could. Just knowing the formulation of that, it includes these moving averages, so it could get you out. Would I buy in right now? I don't know. But of the two, I think Medtronic is probably the better one, even though the Wall Street says it's a 94. It's a hold in the quant. And again, valuation and growth. Valuation and growth. If you look at the quant rating and we go back, it was a strong buy at 80. Again, using the 4-hour algorithm and the 4-hour and the quant, could have bought this at 80. It turned to a strong buy. The 4-hour algorithm said, ooh, you should buy this. Those are the two tools that I use the most, okay? Alpha Picks, great portfolio. I don't even analyze it. We had a buy on the first. I bought more of that particular stock, just so you know. But yeah, I like it. So I like that one. Now, this particular tweet that came out about new notable politician trade alerts, there's a couple of them that are a top 2025 stocks. Okay? Credo is one of the top 2025 stuff. And Stride is part of that. Okay? Those are two buys here, 2 of the 5. It's interesting. Do they know something? Again, politicians are insiders. I don't care what you say. Politicians are insiders. And you can follow Pelosi trades on Trendspider. You can also get this scanner. Okay? Pre-breakout consolidation. The scan pinpoints stocks consolidating at the top of their 100-day with some additional filters for liquidity to keep the focus on actionable setups. These are stocks that are getting ready to break out. And so that's what you can do. Import it into your setup, and then you go in just into the market screener, and you can say pre-market, okay? Pre-breakout consolidation by Trendspider, and you can scan on it. And then you just go back, and you can see your USFD is one, Hilton, that's US Foods, Bank of America, which is in the core portfolio. And then go look at the 4-hour algorithm. This is how easy it is to import into your system and set it up. You can even scan it up here. But see, Bank of America, don't you wish you would have bought on February 3rd when it dipped down to 45? You're 46.72. You will get up to here to this 49. You'll get up there. Again, from a weekly standpoint, this one has just been breaking out. And it seems to be using this 44 as its support. But again, you can import all that. So I'll include this in the newsletter. Again, the newsletter is free during the week, so you get all this stuff. Quick recoveries. I thought this article was interesting, okay? DeepSeek, tariffs, we've had those deep sell-offs, and then the recoveries. And this particular article goes over why. And I think it's true. Options are a big part of this market. Triple leverage ETFs, double leverage ETFs on single stocks and on the indexes. Those things may be contributing to quick recoveries because, again, they're leveraged. So it's an interesting snapshot. I thought this article was great. There is one person I want you to follow on Twitter, and it's Shai Bulor. This guy has the best elevator pitches right here. He's going over what the 3 clear winners, okay? Palantir leads in enterprise AI. Tesla dominates in real-world AI applications. And Cloudflare Net is transforming AI development at this stage, okay? Snow building the data platform. MongoDB powering the AI narrative. TEM, which we just went over, is redefining AI. You can find other ones. CrowdStrike stands as the closest all-in-one cybersecurity platform, while GitLab leads the source code management for AI agents. This is a masterclass on how to find these stocks. Just follow Shy. I don't do all the research that he does. I don't pay for his subscription. You absolutely can. Again, I am a big fan of supporting the creators that you do. I may subscribe to him, honestly, but I don't use X that much. I basically retweet. It's not a lot of like custom stuff. Most of my custom stuff is on Substack. So it is what it is. But I continue to say, if you want names, just follow him. Okay, the biggest movers of the day today, Snap. I told you guys, I told the crew, I didn't put this in any newsletter, but I have a note to myself that said, Snap might be a great earnings play because of the TikTok shutdown. I didn't play it. I played a different one. We'll go over that one, but that's a big mover of the day. Lumen Technologies, again, earnings. And then Enphase, which we'll go over again, is solar back earnings. Then you have Google. This is the $75 billion CapEx. We'll go over all of this. I think it's basically on the slowing of the cloud and the CapEx spending that is down. I think it's an overreaction. AMD is what it is. This is second fiddle. It's moving down. We'll go over that one as well. Apple. Okay, Apple dips after China mulls potential probe in Apple Store fees. Let's look at the chart. Okay, it dipped. Well, it's at 227. Okay, we've been stuck in this weekly right here. It's right in the middle of this channel that I drew. Okay, that's prior resistance. That's prior resistance. It shot right through there. That's support. August 5th, that's support. It pulled back to that level, which was resistance. That's why I believe that 196, around $200, is the bottom level for Apple. That's what I believe. Okay? You're right in the middle. A pullback of 2% seems big, but it's not that big. Look at the weekly. The MACD, it needs to come down. The RSI is coming off of 73 when it sold up to $260 on December 23rd. That's when I sold a bunch of this. I mean, it was the clear as day. The strategy worked. Everything worked. Just expect more pressure, because what can China do to actually combat the tariffs? They can go after, they showed it with the DeepSeek stuff. They will go after the U.S. stock market. They will go after our companies. Okay? Google, NVIDIA, and Intel likely is next. They're going after the U.S. companies. They're going after the U.S. stock market. We're caught in a trade war. And that's what this is. Plus, why the e-commerce sector is rattled by the de minimis trade. Okay, what this is goods that come in on a ship. I don't know the whole details about it, but PDD is the owner of Temu. You can get a t-shirt for like $1.95 on freaking Temu. And it's cheap. It's cheap because they don't pay the import taxes. Well, that's essentially what's going away. And what they're going to do is they're going to pass a law that says packages valued under $800 to the U.S. come in duty-free with minimal customs inspections. The exemption has been in place since the 1930s. Okay? Bank of America said the suspension came in slightly earlier than expected. The firm's initial thoughts regarding the regulatory changes are negative, but not significant for PDD holdings. But it does affect Amazon, Wayfair, Five Below. It affects all of those. So expect some pullback in that. You can see Amazon's down 1.45%. PDD is down 3%. Again, they are targeting companies. They are targeting. This is part of the volatility that you will see for the next 4 years. A stock that you own could be down 10% based on a tweet or based on a press conference. You will continue to see that. So just understand, if you're not comfortable in that particular situation, go and buy an ETF. You've got options, but do not get out of the market. We're still in a bull market. You're in a bull market until you're not. So it's about finding the place in your portfolio that you're comfortable. Shy. Kathy Woods Invest projects Tesla Robotaxi could generate $34 trillion in enterprise value within the next 5 years. This is Kathy Woods talking her book, but she does it so well. And she's been right. So you do want to take a look. I will argue that the 4-hour algorithm is a better way to play this. It got you in and it got you right out. You are still out. I think we're playing with that 389 as support. If you don't get it, if you don't get support down there, I think you could go down to the 340s and 320s. I am waiting for the 4-hour algorithm. That MACD, super low. The RSI shows you it's oversold at 45. If they come in like that, it's great. But look at the weekly. Look at that. The MACD is crossing down. The RSI is still at 61. It's coming off of levels at 78. So it's still super high. But remember, Tesla is not a car company. And so if you go and look at some of the fundamentals on Tesla, you know, it's a hold in the quant. It's a hold from Wall Street. Wall Street thinks it's worth 326. It's the valuation. But if Cathie Woods is right, that valuation doesn't matter because they're not factoring in $34 trillion in enterprise value. So speaking of value, well, let's go over this first. There's a couple of stocks that I think might be up for a split. And splits, previously, Netflix in particular, I think might be up for a split. We can go for a weekly. Let me see if there was a split. There have been splits in the past, I think, of Netflix. One right here in 2015. The stock was trading for 93. I think it went for, I don't know what the split was, but I think it was like a 5-for-1 split or something like that. You haven't had one in a very long time, okay? I do think that you've got a split in this one. Again, it doesn't change the valuation of the company. It doesn't change the fundamentals. But stocks that have split have traditionally done well after the split. Reverse splits are a totally different story. But splits typically have performed well. I think Netflix is one. Another one that I think might be due for a split is Meta. Let's be honest. One thing Zuckerberg likes is the valuation of his company. Zuckerberg likes money, and he likes making money, and he is willing to spend money to make money. We've seen all of this play out. I think Zuckerberg is a genius, a CEO, a founder, and I think he will absolutely guide his stock to a higher price. Now, do I want to buy it here at 700? I have said just buy it under 700. That MACD on the 4-hour is so stretched. The 4-hour algorithm got you in at $615. Okay, the RSI is sitting at 73. It's got to come down. You look at the weekly, it's not totally stretched, but the RSI is at 73 and it's continued to go up. 546 was a resistance level. It turned into support. I don't know where the support is. I would just tell you from a valuation standpoint, I think this one is still got moves up. Average target price from Wall Street, $750. If you can get it under $700, get it. I like this company. I like it a lot. Okay, those are the stock splits. Oh, one other stock chart before we get to Palantir. CLS, Celestica, all-time high. All-time high. I mean, this particular candle, we got to 133. Yesterday, we got to 131. Afternoon, 133. Where's it trading right now? It is at 136. If you haven't gotten into this company, I don't know what to tell you, but Celestica is one of those that keeps on going. It is extremely stretched. Would I buy it here? I'd just add to it. For me, I'm not worried about valuation on this particular one. They think it's worth 138. Again, you're at 136 in pre-market. It's still a strong buy. The valuation is not super, super stretched based on its growth. So let me see when they report. They just reported on January 27th. So you've got that behind you. Everything's still looking good for this one. Now let's talk about Palantir. I read 2 articles on Palantir. Okay, this is the first one that I read. I was super impressed with this one. I may be convinced because this particular author in this one says, don't fight it. He had a buy down here. He's up 181% since September 27, 2024. He had a buy here, November 9th, 77% he's up. He had a hold here, okay? He's up 39%. since December 17th, and he had a hold. He changed it to a hold. He sucked the humble pie and made it a buy January 26th. And he's reiterating on February 4th a buy. Okay, he's doubling down. I liked it. I liked some of his past articles that I read. And then I go over here, and one of my favorites, Michael Wiggins, De Oliveri, he says, hey, to buy. He had it as a sell on September 20th. And he is the stock is up 179. He was wrong about this one. He eats the humble pie. So I may be changing my tune on Palantir. And honestly, I may just buy it under $100. It's pulling back 1.85%. We got a huge gap here to fill between, let's see, 185. I mean, if you just go to the daily and you look at that gap, it's a gap between, let's see, this candle closed at 83 and we opened at 102. The low was 100. If you can get it under 100, get it under 100. Again, I'm changing my tune. I missed this one. I missed the Tesla. I've made mistakes. Even made mistakes on earnings as early as yesterday. You're gonna make mistakes, but the point is, don't be out of it. When you find a trend and a stock moving like this, and you find a founder who is this one, and you get people who tell you this could be the game changer, you want to add into it. And yesterday I did a bonus podcast on a stock that I found on Top Stocks. I put it out there. I don't know if it's going to do well. I just kind of read some articles, looked at the valuation, and I put a thesis out there. I got 5 people who said that this was the thesis made sense. 5 people. This is it. Year to date, 25%. It's up over 173% over 1 year. And it just had a golden cross on its monthly candle. So again, it's a very small position. I outlined how I entered it. I thought that was a great one. I got a lot of feedback from folks, so I know it's a good one. Now, Palantir's that one. So we talked about that one. Oh, just so everyone's aware, I'm not going to keep this one secret. I bought a ton more CRDO yesterday. Credo. I bought a ton. I like this pullback. I like it to fill this gap to 80. It's at 76 right now. In pre-market, we are at 78. I bought a ton of it yesterday. I like this. Algorithm said buy at 71. I did. I think I bought on average, I think it's 73. I think 73 was where I got it. So I'm in it. And I bought a ton. And this is the number one top 2025 stock. I just bought it. So, again, earnings per share, 75% of the companies this week have beaten earnings per share. Earnings is good. Earnings is driving this market. You can look at this 2 ways. We've had the DeepSeek pullback and we've had the tariff pullback. Okay. Earnings are either holding this market up because it wants to go down, but earnings are that good, or earnings is just setting us up for a move higher. One or the other. Because you can see Broadcom is up 4%. NVIDIA is up 1% in pre-market. Again, earnings are coming in very, very well. Now, let's talk about this one. Intap. I got handed a lesson yesterday, okay? I went in big on this one. I went in way too hard. I had cash on the sidelines. INTA cost me a lot of money. I may pull out some of this money. It is now down 10% in pre-market. I learned yesterday. So I went in with during the podcast, the live podcast, I bought one small one. I bought it on my laptop to the side here. And I said, hey, I'll buy more throughout the day. I did buy 2 more lots of it. And I wound up actually pushing the price up every time I hit the buy button. I wound up pushing the price up by $2. That's how much I was buying yesterday. Okay. I pushed the price of this stock up the second I put that in. And if you don't know, when you put in a price for a limit order or you even do it market order, I always suggest limit orders. But when you put that price in and you type it in, I am 100% sure that there is some type of software within the back end of this that determines, okay, this person is about to push this order through at this price. I think that is a software in there, and that other market participants know, oh, this guy's about to put in this order, and it's big. And then when it comes out, it even does a bigger move. So this particular one I played. I may pull it out. It was in my brokerage account, so I may be able to take a capital loss on it while keeping 50% of the position and have a write-off for some of my trades that do work out and I do sell. So that might be my strategy. I still haven't done it. I know I tell you guys, hey, know the price that you're going to sell when you do it, but understand this is a top 20-25 stock. It was down 25%. Okay? It is now down, let's see, INTA, we're going to go in here. In pre-market, we're at 924, and I'm going to do a 5-minute chart. You can see how it fell, but it started to come back. It was down 25%. Now, pre-market in this one is super light. So don't take this as, oh my God, it's got to come back. It doesn't. It doesn't. And if you run the 4-hour, you can see the 4-hour had you in 67. Where's it trading right now? 66. Okay? That seems to be where it wants to pull back to. That seems to be where, because in after hours, it seems like it. So I don't want to sell it because the earnings weren't horrible. Okay? The earnings were actually really good. The guidance was light, and it wasn't super light. I'm waiting for Steve Kress to actually analyze this one. Again, this has the last report was 1.5. So it's not, this is one of these things, is the company introduced new AI-powered features, including an AI-powered search for Deal Cloud and integration enhancements with Microsoft Outlook and Google Calendar. Their partnerships got stronger. And so while I don't know what happened, I do think this was profit taking. And so I do think that this one has more room to run. Where does Wall Street think that it is? 10 analysts think it's worth 76. My average purchase price is like 72. So I'm okay sitting there and waiting for this one. Okay, but if I see this one pull back to 60, I may get rid of half of my position, and it's going to be a bit of humble pie. But again, I got into this fully knowing that I didn't follow my process, and I got burned. And I got into a company that I didn't know much about. I got hyped up. I had money on the sidelines. My journal will be just a crash and burn type thing. I'm not telling anybody to get in there. Again, if you follow me, you are likely to lose money. You are not me. This is an exact example. You don't have the kind of money that I have to be able to lose this. You have to make sure that the size of your position is correct. It hurts, but does my life change? No. You know, if I had a $1,000 portfolio and I put $300 into a INTA and then it's down, 20%, my life might change. But if I had $1,000 and I put $1 in to INTA, your life ain't changing. So make sure your size position is correct. And I may limit the size of this one and move it to another winner until we're actually sure that this one comes back. But INTA, again, I like this one. Let's see. The market just opened up. No, it's just still a little bit. It's down 10%. So it's down 10%. Again, we were down 25% on this one. So it is what it is. Again, let's go into Google, because Google earnings in my mind is an overreaction. I thought this was interesting. Now, I painted this 171. We can go and look at my chart on this one. Google traded down to 170 and it's 190, and it's holding there. And you can see the two lines that I put in. We're going to go and look at Google. It's no shock that this is where it pulled back. It's trading at 193 right now. It's no shock. Where did I get that 193? Well, let's go back to the weekly, because 193 was the previous all-time high in July. Okay, it pulled back. It found support. I think this is an overreaction of the stock. Okay, Alphabet outlined $75 billion in CapEx for 2025 with focus on AI and cloud infrastructure, and the cloud lost a little bit. They just lost a little bit momentum. I don't think this is the sign that Google is at the end. Google stock is still a good buy. I like it anywhere under 200. Average Wall Street price target, 217. If you can start adding to your position, I wouldn't go balls deep on this one. If you don't have a position in Google, but you've been looking to get into it, 193 isn't a bad place to be. Find out, okay, say you have $1,000 that you want to put into Google. Put $100 in today at 193. That's it. You know, your weekly on this one, still stretched. Still stretched. The RSI 73. But if you want to get into Google, this isn't a bad time. Again, that previous all-time high very well may provide support. Wall Street, they're going to take their targets down. You're going to see a mix of stuff. It is what it is. But I do think, like Gene Munster, and you can watch this 8-minute video, it's an overreaction. Google Cloud was not as bad as it first appeared. Search still needs an overhaul, and the company needs to deliver on its promise of exciting upcoming products. That's it. And I believe in Sundar, and I believe in that team. I think they're going to get trimmer. I think they've shown that they can react faster, and I think they win some of this AI stuff. I like Google, the Google AI stuff. I think it's Gemini. So, Novo Nordisk beats in Q4. And Wegovy sales more than double. Novo's up about 3% in pre-market. Lilly has earnings. Let's see. Earnings Hub. Let's see. Lilly reports tomorrow morning. It'll be interesting. Just telling you, again, it's in the core portfolio. AMD is not in the core portfolio. It is what we thought it was. It's down 10%. Projects strong AI data and data center growth in 2025 and MI350 launch mid next year. Again, they talk a good game. But the stock price, I would argue, momentum is the biggest factor in the quant. And if you want to take a look at AMD, we can go and look at AMD in the quant. Right now, it's a hold. And momentum is a D. Momentum is one of the strongest factors in that quant. Now, ironically, okay, today, AMD gets you a buy at 119. Do you want to buy it? Take a look at a weekly. You might be buying a falling knife. Where does the trend line show us that it's going? You want to, we can go to the high here, and if you're just looking at the resistance level, just pin where it's going to, the top of these candles, the top of the wicks. Well, the resistance, if you buy here at 107, your resistance might be at 119. But it's just falling under the 200-day. Your 4 hour, it's okay. I mean, 119, it gets you in there. But the 4 hour algorithm loses you 4%. If you bought and held over 2 years, you're still up 58%. But I think you're buying a falling knife. We've gone over that 821 yesterday. Go to yesterday's newsletter. I just think it's exactly what we thought it was. So AMD, stay out of it. Enphase. Are we back in a time where solar is a good thing? Because Enphase targets Q1 2025 revenue of $340 million with expanded domestic content production. This is Enphase. This is solar panels. Longtime listeners will remember I lost a ton in Sedge, big percentage, and I lost in QCLN where I didn't actually lose. I pulled it out with a gain, but I left a lot on the table. I'm not a huge solar fan. But you've got a nice gap up here to 88 that you could fill. The 4 hour algorithm, it still loses you money. The weekly on this, you could be buying a falling knife. Again, it sounds great when everything's going fine. When in doubt, pull out. Remember, Tyreek Hill should get this every time he meets a woman. He should listen to his head. He should have the mantra, when in doubt, pull out, because the guy's got 19 baby mamas. Okay? When in doubt, pull out. Enphase, great earnings, probably a pop, good for trading. Uber beats Q4. Uber is one that gives you 4% yesterday, and it takes it back. It takes it back. They beat gross bookings grow, initiates Q1 outlook. And we can look at Uber. Uber is in the core portfolio. Uber is in my personal portfolio, and I think it's a $100 stock at some point. It's down 6% at 65. Okay, where's it going? Probably down to 61. If it was as bad a quarter as we think, maybe going down to 61. I don't think it's a bad one. It's a strong buy in the quant. Okay, the momentum has sucked. The momentum is what hurts. Short term, minus 4%. 6 months, you're up 18%. But your 1 year, again, you're up in this range. And I would argue the range is between 61 and 82. Where'd that 82 come from? Look, right there, previous all-time high. And it didn't hold up here when it got to 86. It didn't hold. But on your weekly, look at how low that MACD is. You know, yes, we had this argument yesterday on Spaces about, is it overvalued because they're charging too much and people are just going to find a different way? Because, you know, going from the airport to a hotel is like $150. Maybe, but they're paying it. Rides are up. Again, go read that article. So I continue to think that this one has a place in the core portfolio as it flutters between the 61 and 70 price. I mean, you know, right there is 70. If we put a line at 70, we'll just put a line at 70. And you'll see. It provides a pretty good resistance right there. See? Kind of a midpoint. So if you buy at 64, I think you're getting a 70. Again, they're making money. It's a good company. It's a good company. When did it go to a strong buy? Let's see. 68. And it's trading right now at 65. It may re-rate this today. But again, it's a stock that I own. I'm not going balls deep on it. I've had it. I like it. I think my average purchase price is like $40 or something. So I'm okay with it. Disney, core portfolio, beats. It is marching its way to $120. Disney beat, good earnings, but they lost streamers. But they made more money. So if you have fewer streamers and you make more money, that's sometimes seen as a bad thing. Disney's up 2.2%. It's marching its way to 120. Where did I get that 120? Look, 120 right here. You had once resistance. You had twice. This one got to, let's see, 118. Then you had 3 times. Then this one got to 118 again. When you get to 118, you start selling. Don't you wish you would have bought down here August 12th at 82? And when you get here, you start trimming. Because the 200-day is still negative. The 50-day is positive. But that 200-day may be providing you support. And if it continues negative, you want to be out. Okay, Disney isn't out of the realm of, oh my God, it's a great buy. It's still a hold in the quant. Why? Because of the valuation. It's still an expensive stock. The PE's 20. The sector's at 12. Okay, but the PEG ratio is really good going back, but going forward, they may have a problem with growth. That's just it. This is how you look at stocks. Okay, it's just super easy. Simon Property Group. It's part of the core portfolio. There are a lot of stocks in the core portfolio that you may think are boring. Okay, this one just declared a $2.10 quarterly dividend, forward yield of 4.85%. And let's go and look at the stock chart. This is a great stock chart. It has been a great buy. It's sideways here since December, just like most of the market, but this earnings pushed it up. Okay, are we getting back to the 182? I don't know. We can look at some of the valuation of this one right now in the quant. It's a hold. It's a hold. Has it been a strong buy anytime recently? No, it's been a hold forever. I mean, it's been a hold forever. I don't know why the quant hates it. It looks like the growth is what, this is a mall company. Are they growing a ton? No. Their growth metrics are just a little bit of a problem. Momentum, great. Again, if Wall Street says that it's worth their price target, 188, 6% upside. It's ranked number 16. It's ranked as a REIT. I don't believe this one's a REIT, even though it's ranked as a REIT. But you can buy other ones that are top ones. Again, Simon Property Group, if you pull out on a weekly, this has been a great stock to hold since 2023 when it was trading at 111. Malls are malls, and David Simon runs this place really, really well. So let me look at, let's see, UFC, UFC stock. Let me see if I can find it. No, what is the stock for UFC? It is now a part of Public Endeavor Group, which is, is that the one he asked for? Let's go. I think it was TKO. He asked for TKO. That's what it was. TKO, yeah. TKO Group Holdings. That's what it is. He asked about TKO. This is Dylan. He put in the Facebook group, no TED Talk for this one, unfortunately. I'm basing this off of insider buying. And so if you go over to FinViz and you look at TKO, he points out a lot of insider buying, and we can go and look at it. Look, it's all insider buying. Is this a great stock to buy? Ton of insider buys, and you can see the value amount, huge dollar amounts. And we can look at the price. Again, look at the chart. It's moving up. Where does the average target price sit? 159. Where are you trading? 157. So is this a good buy? Let's take a look. Just using FinViz. Would this be a good buy? I will tell you, traditionally, insider buys aren't the basis of when to buy. But if you look at when these insider buys started on January 21st, and we go and look at TKO, and this is why you want your own charting program. Look at when the insider buys started on January 21st. Where was it trading? Well, it was trading at about 140. It's now at 150. Not a bad move. MACD a bit stretched. Is it a good buy now? Are they still buying? They are still buying. You can see the average purchase price down here, the cost, 157, 150. They're still buying a ton. Does it make sense? Let's go over here and look at the Wall Street price target, 159.66%. Quant says it's a hold. Why? Valuation. That's pretty expensive, if you ask me, compared to the sector, okay? Revisions. We can go over. Everybody's bringing it down on earnings per share. There's 12 that are bringing it up. Again, where we can look at the, look at the analyze with AI. Because this is how if you don't know anything and you see a bunch of insider buys, and it's great to look at this, TKO's value proposition lies in strategic part ownership of two globally recognized brands, WWE and UFC. Okay? The competitors, Endeavor Group, Live Nation, Liberty Media. I like Live Nation way more than I would like to own WWE and UFC. Remember, WWE just went into Netflix. Why not buy Netflix? Is it great to buy a stock just because of insider buys? No. I mean, it's a decent sign, but it's not the wholehearted reason. You have to have more of a reason to buy something. So, Dylan, I would say, is it a good reason to buy just because of the insider buys? I'd say no. Your elevator pitch needs to be more than that. Is it because of the valuation? Because the valuation sucks. Is it because of the growth? Because the growth is okay. You're growing revenue growth year over year. Profitability, it's okay. It's a B+. Momentum, it's been doing great. And that may be because insiders are buying it. Again, if you look at it, it's close to the 52-week top range. So if you think that you could buy this one and it can continue higher, even with the valuation being bad, have at it. I would go down here and look at other ones. IMAX, Spotfiy, Netflix, Disney, WBD. I think a lot of these other ones have higher opportunity to actually grow. So, Dylan, thanks for the question. It's not my cup of tea. Again, I own Spotfiy in this list. I own Netflix in this list. I own Disney in this list. But I for me, I just don't want that one. But again, I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I'm just saying, if the only reason you're buying a stock is because of insider buys, you need to have a better search, because there are plenty of insider buys that lead you to losses. So there's my take on that one. Now, scans, we got a ton of scans. I'm going to go over the ones in the core portfolio. Cleveland Cliffs, it's up 1.1%. I don't know that I'd necessarily buy this one here. I have gone over the weekly, and I do think if you go back to COVID and you look at this one pre-COVID, it was this $8 stock. I think that's where you're going to see this one go. Now, as the 50-day starts to turn and maybe you get back over the 200-day, I think you could move this one up. But right now, I'd say this one is a trade, not an own. It's in the core portfolio, not because it's a great stock. It's because it was a good trading stock for a long time, a few years. It might come out. Amazon, as material, by the way, I may find another materials company to just replace it. But Amazon, down 2.48%. 224 was the original buy. It gets you back in. Would I be buying this one? You've got earnings coming up February 6th, so tomorrow after the bell, I think. Your weekly still stretched. Would I be buying it here? No. I already own it. And if you don't own it, I would buy an ETF rather than buying Amazon right now. But I do think that Amazon is a great buy. I think it should be in your portfolio. Uber, we went over. Uber actually has a scan where it gets you in 69.75 and you're trading at 65. I don't think 65 is a bad one. And finally, in the core portfolio, there's XOM, Exxon. This one's going to make a move back to 120. It's energy. It's going to make a move back to 120. Even if you fall back to 100, they've already had their earnings. The ex-dividend date is coming up on February 12th, so you're going to see some some price taken out. But again, I like this one. This is one of the energy ones that it's just tried and true. As you get down to this, I mean, let's expand this one out. We'll just expand this out. Let me see if I can do this. I guess I can't. Why can't I push this one over? Oh, there we go. Okay, we're just going to go over there. I mean, look at that range where it's back down at the bottom. Yeah. So I like this one. I like this one at 109. It's nice, tried and true. So if you have any questions, I've gone on for 50 minutes. If you have any questions, hit me up. All of this, by the way, if you want Trendspider, I'll just go over the ads here. Trendspider is the platform that I've been using. It's the 4-hour algorithm. It is unbelievable. The 4-hour algorithm just saves me from all those downturns. You can trade stocks with it. You get that free, those scanners that you can import. It's just a system that works. You saw me use Seeking Alpha. Premium and Alpha Picks are the two ones that I go to. It's the bundle. You can get all of this on Linktree. The link is down below. But Premium and Alpha Picks is just the best bundle that I get. Rather than pay for Netflix, I pay for this. That would be my choice. Again, I get it as free as an affiliate, but you save $159. And this will take you down rabbit holes. Hours and hours. That's how I found the pick from yesterday. So one of the things that I'm going to go over in the newsletter is how I find flyers before they're actually flyers. You can't always find them, but you can find, if the stock moves 10% and then it's got another 30% in it, you missed the first 10%. That's not a bad thing. You got the next 30%. So again, how do you find those? I'm going to go over it in the newsletter. Seeking Alpha Premium is one of those places. Again, I just go in here to this one and I go top stocks. Top stocks. You can just look at the list here. And yes, the one I went over is in this list. So it's in this list. I don't exactly know where it is, but it was a theme play. So it's a theme play where I kind of lay it out. Again, getting 4 or 5 different people saying that it was a good one. If you want to read it or watch the podcast, it's right here under bonus podcast. So if you have any questions, hit me up. I am on Linktree and you can get to my email address. My DMs are open. Unlike, some celebrities, I guess. Okay, take care. See you tomorrow. Larry. Okay. Morning, everybody. I'm a stop, not say good morning. I like MPL. I've told you before, Jacob, just buy MPLX. MPC, might come back. I own MPLX. And XLE is always a good one. Yeah, it's going to be, the small cap list is going to be on here. If you follow Steve Kress, top 10 small caps amid market turbulence, right there. So it's up there, Keo. Let's go find a Steve Kress article and look at it down there. Morning Hunter, any idea why TLN is downgraded to a hold? I'd have to know. I mean, here's the thing, Pavan. I don't know the formula of the quant. Okay, so I don't know why it's downgraded, but we can take a look and see what changed. It's a strong buy to a hold. The valuation, bit tough. What else changed? Let's see. That's the only one that changed. Everything else was a B. So my guess is it's the valuation. And we look at that. Did they report earnings? Let me see. No. Doesn't look like they've reported earnings. But they're filling that gap. I mean, I told you at 229 that they would fill this gap up to 240. So, and on the weekly, it's still stretched on the weekly, but we don't have a ton of moving averages and stuff. But TLN, I don't know why it's a hold, but it clearly, when you go and look at the what's changed, it's been the valuation is an F. And let's see if they didn't update it. Yeah. This was just generated on 2.5. So I would go read this. Why it's a hold. Because they just updated it. So, let's see. Spotify is great. I own Spotfiy. And it's because I'm on Spotify, I own Spotify. Again, buy what you do, buy what you know. But Spotify is a great one. You just have to know you're buying a very expensive stock, and they're going to rely on growth. So if you're okay buying a very expensive stock, then that's fine. And I did buy it even when it was expensive. I didn't buy it when it was cheap. In fact, I don't even know. I'll look up my average purchase price after I just get this podcast thing edited a little bit. Okay, bum. Okay, we're gonna put this in. Let me just put in some green screen stuff, and then I'll go look at Spotify and stuff for you. And we're gonna put in this, and we're gonna put in this, and okay, and then I've got to export file. This thing does this so fast. Is pod. Spotify's just expensive, so I'm not gonna do DoorDash because DoorDash is kind of it's expensive. Valuation's an F. They're not making money, and their forward, the PEG ratio, it's an F. I mean, there's nothing good financially about this company, but their growth is fantastic. Look at the EBITDA growth, 14,760%. Your leverage cash flow, 125%. Average Wall Street price target is 585, so it's 6% down. And when you look at it, 602, you're at, your 52-week high is 630. 630. Today it reached 630. That market price might come up. Spotify targets, this is yesterday at 10:48. Their earnings came out yesterday. But it's expensive. You're going to pay for, the top in the thing. So, actually, I would say, I'll look at DoorDash for you too, actually, because that's probably not a bad one to look at. But this one, their earnings came out. You can see every time their earnings come out and they forecast growth, it just continues up. And you take a look at a weekly and it's super, super stretched. Super stretched. But down here, I was saying it's going back to all-time highs at 25%. I think that's where I bought. Hold on, I'll tell you where I bought. Let's look at Webull. Webull. I bought, I don't know how to look it up on Webull. Average price $295. Average price is $295. But FYI, I have all of $1,000. I'm up 111%, and so it was like a $500 buy. So I don't have a ton, but yeah, it's like a $500 buy. So DoorDash, let's look at Dash. I think that's the symbol. Yeah. DoorDash, again, you're going to pay for the leader in this. I mean, I like Toast, to be honest with you, because I think Toast has more room to grow. Algorithm got you in here at 171. You're at 192. Their earnings are coming up. You look at a weekly, and it's stretched. Again, growth is kind of back and ever since the election. And if you look at Dash here in Seeking Alpha, it's a hold. Why? The only reason is the valuation. You know, personally, I like Toast, T-O-S-T. I think this one is better because it's just cheaper. Now, they're not in the same business. If you go into a restaurant, there's two choices. So they can use DoorDash, and DoorDash basically puts them in their software, okay? That's what you have to do if you're going to deliver through DoorDash. If you're going to deliver through another company, like Grubhub or something like that, you can use Toast. And there's plenty of restaurants. Go to your favorite restaurant. If they have an app, if they have the ability to order online, you'll find out if it's Toast. And many of the restaurants that I go into, I ask them why they chose Toast, and they tell me, it's fine. DoorDash just takes too much money. Toast has a lower model. But understand, this one's not making money. So, you know, their growth is fantastic. Their growth is unbelievable. But it's worth $40 from Wall Street. There's 31 analysts that cover it. They say it's worth $41. So you're going to have to show your earnings. And that's where the problem with Toast is that they're going to have to show it with earnings. And their earnings are coming up, looks like February 19th. So, but I like this one. I've liked it a lot. I went over INTA. ALAB. I like ALAB. ALAB's the one that one got some bump because NVIDIA invested in it. But let's see, what's ALAB? The problem is I don't think that they're making money. Wall Street says it's 115, and you got 14 analysts. It's not covered by the Quant. Their earnings beat financials. Yeah. It's a little bit expensive, but wow. Algorithm got you in at 88 on this one. Whew, what a buy. Algorithm outperforms buy and hold. So if you want ALAB, get Trendspider. That's what I would say. New to trading are so confused. Jeffrey, don't be confused. Jeffrey, there's very simple stuff. Again, it's charts, which is technical, and you've got Seeking Alpha, which is fundamental. Fundamental is the financial ability of the company. Charts are just the price of the stock. Nothing matters other than the actual price of the stock. So, BTBT. What is BTBT? Bit Digital. This is one of the miners, I think. Let's see, BTBT. Bit Digital. Yeah, it's a miner. Engages Bitcoin mining. Yeah. For mining, I'd prefer Mara. Honest to God, there's 5 analysts that cover this. They think BTBT is worth $6.10, but the Quant just thinks it's horrible. I'd rather see you buy Mara if you're into the miners, or just fucking buy Bitcoin on its own. I mean, even Mara is a hold in the Quant. Wall Street thinks it's worth $27. I'd rather see you in Mara. And the only reason I say Mara over BTBT is I don't know too much about either one. And Mara is one that I've owned in the past. So, and I felt very comfortable with Mara buying under $20 and waiting for it to hold until it hits $20. And our buddy James Ford just did a analysis of that one. So if you want. MSTR. MSTR is, well, we don't even care about. I mean, the Quant says it's a strong buy. Ironically, Wall Street says it's a strong buy, 524. That's 52% upside. And MSTR from us, and I've said this before, the 4-hour algorithm just works, and it works well, and it has you out. So I it's down 1% today. I don't think the 4-hour algorithm lies to you. So I think that's a really, really good strategy to play on it. That's where I would look. Okay, and with that, I am out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Have fun. Enjoy. See ya.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. and fears.